Hello and welcome to San Diego Market Watch, where we bring you accurate, timely information about the real estate market here in San Diego. Today is January 5th, 2023. We are in the first week of 2023 here, folks, and it's been kind of a soggy week so far, hasn't it? Having a little bit of a soggy, wet hair day today. But we'll have that all cleaned up by next week and looking sharp again. So what's happening in San Diego real estate right now? Everybody's asking what's going to happen in 2023, and the answer to that question is I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I really don't know. I'm not kidding. But there are ways that we can look at things and make some general educated guesses about what's going to happen in the near term here. And I think that's really what you need to look at when you're talking about real estate. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, you kind of really want to know what's going to be happening in the next few weeks or a couple of months. And that's a lot easier to tell you than to say X is going to happen in 2023. Where 2022 wound up is basically where 2022 started, more or less. I mean, we'll get to the median price slide here in a few minutes, but it's kind of a right back where we started story in a lot of ways. So like we always do, let's take a look first at the number of homes for sale, which, as I've said every week for the last several months, for the last several weeks, it's been going down, and for the several weeks and months before that, it was steady. Inventory was holding very steady, right almost up to the 4,500 mark. We did almost get up to 5,000 units at one point, but we've been hanging around right at 4,300-ish, October, November, all the way through November until, we had a little bit of an improvement in rates. And at the same time that rates began to improve a bit, we also had a pretty steep decline in new listings. So the decline in new listings and the outpacing of new listings by pending sales has led to this rather impressive decline in the number of homes for sale. And right now we are under 3,000. We're at 2,880 something this week, or right now, today. That's how many homes are on the market. Now, if you think back to the first update of 2022, we were sitting right about 1,400 homes on the market. So inventory was even lower at the beginning of last year, but then it shot up and now it's low again. So it's not as low as it was at the beginning of 2022. However, it is low, and it's been getting lower and lower and lower. Now, the number of new listings went, sharply down Thanksgiving week, bounced back up right after Thanksgiving, because folks were seeing, a little bit of improvement in rates. So we had a jump in new listings, and then it's just been going down, down, down until this past week. Of course, it's sharply up. This is the first week of the year. This week, Christmas week, right here, there were less than 150 new listings in the whole county. I think it was about 138 new listings in the whole county that week. So that was an extraordinarily low number of new listings. So this looks like a dramatic jump in new listings, but it's really just kind of back to sort of normal, unless you go back here when we were having almost 600 new listings a week, in October. So it's just been a wild ride. 2022 was a wild ride. Starting the year with almost no inventory, shooting up to almost 5,000. Interest rates starting out in the 2s and 3s, shooting up to 7. It's just crazy. Prices shot up and then came down. It was a roller coaster year, 2022. And a lot of people want to know why is that? Why did that happen? Well, unprecedented social and economic conditions, globally. Really, COVID was a global phenomenon, a pandemic. That's why they call it a pandemic, because it's across the globe. And then we're, coming out of that pandemic with all sorts of weird supply chain issues and new consumer habits and so on and so forth. Just led to a very volatile year. But at the end of the day, real estate, kind of wound up where it started. In any event, new listings sharply up this past week, but still well below the peaks of earlier or last year. And then closed sales up last week. We had more closings in the last week than we had in the couple of weeks before. And pending sales they were outpacing new listings, and then you see this line cross right here, meaning more new listings this last week than pending sales. But again, not a dramatic difference. So let's move on to mortgage interest rates. We are up a tiny bit again, the average for the past week being 6.48. So in the past few weeks and months, we've been as high as 7.1 and as low as 6.25, and then going all the way back here to January of last year, well under 4%. In fact, in many cases, under 3%. So another graph with depicting the wild ride of 2022. So then let's move on to median price, which, as I was saying all the way back in June or so, that we were establishing a trend of dropping median price. We had a little uptick here, but that of course did not last. So now if you go back here to about December of 2021, January 2022, right in here, that's where we are again. And you do see a little bit of a smoothing of this curve right here. So does that mean we're going to continue to smooth and plateau? Or is this just going to be a little plateau before we see a drop? Or are they going to start to go back up again? Now that depends on a lot of different things, and a lot of things that I or nobody else can predict for you. Nobody has that crystal ball to tell you exactly what's going to happen. However, I will tell you that, with rates as high as they are, and the Federal Reserve predicted to continue inching them upward, mortgage rates are probably going to be pretty stout and onerous for at least the first 3 months of this year, meaning I expect them to stay in the sixes, which is not a great place to be when your median price is around $875,000. That is, a much higher payment than you were paying when, for instance, if the median price was $900 and rates were at 3, your payment's less than it is now with median price at $850 and 6.5%. So what happens with median price is largely going to depend on what happens with rates and inventory in particular. If there were a ton more homes on the market right now, we would be seeing prices declining a lot faster than they are. Right now, there's not much to choose from, and there may not be much to choose from. We may not see a lot of new listings going on, in the first quarter of 2023. It remains to be seen. But all these factors depend on one another, and nobody can tell you exactly what's going to happen. All I can tell you is what's happening right now. And if you are trying to buy a home in the first quarter of 2023, you might as well jump in. If you're trying to sell a home in the first quarter of 2023, get it on the market. Let's get it on the market and get it sold, because anything can happen, as the last couple of years have proven. And prices are still very, very strong. Yes, there's been a decline in the last, several months, but look where we are, relative to, say, December of 2020, or going even back to April of 2020. Median price is way up. If you draw the trend line through here, median price is up over the last couple of years and up significantly. And yes, it is possible it could come back down to this level or any other level for that matter. So the best time to do your real estate move is when you have to do it. And then you hire a good realtor to get you the best price on your purchase or negotiate the best terms. And you hire the best realtor to get you the most possible for your home. That's what we specialize in here. That's what we do. Me and my wife Deva, that's what we do. We help buyers, we help sellers, and that's what we intend to keep doing. So, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we will be back again next week with more neighborhood real estate updates and our overall 2022 year in review and prognosis for 2023 as best we can make it. The new numbers are out. We're crunching them. We'll be back next week. Instead of this video, San Diego Market Watch, you will be seeing the monthly market update. And of course, as always, we'd love to see you for our Friday show tomorrow. So come on by around 6 p.m. on Friday. You can catch us live on Facebook or watch the replay on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, or anywhere else that you might have the ability to watch two people yakking about life and real estate in San Diego. So with that, I will say good day. Try to stay dry out there, and we'll talk to you soon.